Today we're going to talk about how important methylation is to your health. So we're just going to wait a little bit here as Facebook is letting our followers let them know that we're coming on live. And today, because this has come up so often in our integrative health center practice, is how well people are methylating is really essential, and it's a key ingredient in optimal health. And it's not only checking for genetic changes, those genetic SNPs, they call them, that many people go out and say that, well, I got this double double gene or heterozygote homogeneous SNP, single nucleotide polymorphism, for methylation, one of those genes. But we've all known in functional medicine that the genes are about 20 or 30% maximum of what can be expressed in everyday life. So just because a person has those genes that might say that they have this tendency towards over or under methylation does not mean at all that they're going to express that. All it means is now they have to be aware that they have to be helping their body methylate better and not doing things that worsens methylation. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is how important methylation is and what are the things you can do to better it, or things that actually can worsen this process known as methylation. So what is methylation? Why is it so important? That is what we're going to talk about today. Methylation. So what is a methyl group? That's the first question you have to ask. It's a carbon with 3 hydrogens. And why is that important? It's because the body can use that one chemical in nature. It's a natural organic chemical in our body, carbon with 3 hydrogens, that the body can use these hydrogens and the carbon, exchange it in many different processes. Here I will show some of these processes right here. This is a great diagram that shows the methylation cycle involved in, number one, neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters such as epinephrine, that's our adrenaline, our fight and flight, and other neurotransmitters are totally involved here in methylation. Then right here is the folate cycle. We all know about taking folic acid. We hear about folate, especially during times of pregnancy. That's when the DNA is really replicating with a new baby that's forming all these cells. So of course it's totally involved in DNA replication. And then there is this detoxification cycle. See, over here is glutathione. So down this cycle here of methylation is really responsible for the way that we are detoxifying. And that is what's so important. So it's involved in detoxification, it's involved in our DNA replication, and it's involved in our neurotransmitters. And that is really how important methylation is. Now, as you see here, all these different little bubbles around these are all nutrients that this methylation cycle, all of them require these nutrients to really be functioning optimally. And that's what we do here in integrative medicine at our integrative health center, is see what these byproducts are of methylation, one of which is homocysteine. And if it's elevated, we're going to work at providing those co-nutrients to support methylation. And you don't want to over-methylate or under-methylate, and that is the key. So what's really important to also see is in liver detoxification, you see methylation occurs in phase 2 of liver detoxification. So what's essential to know about that is how we detoxify our xenoestrogens, these plastics or other chemicals in the environment that act as hormones, and they mimic our hormones, and they're kind of known as pseudoestrogens. They're fake estrogens, and they do fake out our hormones. But it's better if our process in phase 2 detoxification, where methylation takes place, is optimized. And some of the nutrients that we need in phase 2 detoxification are cysteine, which is a sulfur-based nutrient, some other amino acids like taurine, magnesium, and some vitamins as well, as some different other nutrients, such as glutamine and choline, are very important for methylation for detoxification. So far for methylation, we have detoxification, we have our antioxidant system, which is glutathione, we have also DNA replication, and we have our neurotransmitters. That's how important methylation is. And one more thing is hormone metabolism. Many of our hormones have to go through a process and get use methylation in order for it to break down and get removed from the body. So this is a chart here showing the breakdown of estrogens and testosterone, and you see that without proper methylation, all the way down here, there's an enzyme called COMT, and that's actually an enzyme that uses methylation, and that is going to really help remove especially many of these toxic metabolites from these hormones. So we have our hormone metabolites being able to remove hormones. That's number one with methylation. Number two is our neurotransmitters. Number three, the DNA replication. And number four is our ability to detoxify our antioxidant system, which is primarily going to be producing glutathione, our primary antioxidant, and as well our phase 2 detoxification in the liver where methylation takes place. So yes, you could have that genetic change, a genetic SNP, but if you're supporting it through all these systems, then that won't express itself. But if you're doing everything to really tax these systems, for example, with the neurotransmitters, if you're stressed and you're producing a lot of adrenaline, if you're under a lot of oxidative stress, so the DNA is stressed and it's under oxidative stress, and if you have enough or more than the normal amount of toxins, then now you're pushing this methylation system. And if you're not providing the nutrients such as B12 and folate, well, then it's going to really certainly tax that system. So what's important is to measure how your methylation is doing in a functional way, not necessarily only in the genetic way, but how is it really coming out in the lab work, in the blood work? How are you methylating in that process? Because there could be a buildup of nutrients such as I showed you here, homocysteine, that can show you if there is an issue with methylation. And so that is a very important process to get optimized, and that is something that we are focused here at South Florida Integrative Health Center. So I hope everyone found this very interesting. Thank you all for joining. Please like and share and comment below, and we will answer back. And if you're seeing it on the replay, go ahead and let us know about that too. Everyone have a healthy and a happy day.